So we're live. We're back again. The farm's
back for
breaking
the
down.
888. We had such a good start in the 111s. Just absolutely
fun.
sun running.
Yeah.
Fade the last game, and then it's 15-14. You're like, what the hell? And like,
I know, but I didn't even fade the last game. I played a lot of the last game. It's just I didn't play. I didn't play the Oakland side. Milwaukee was pretty much on every team I built, but it didn't matter. It's like Nick Hurts had 2 home runs. Langoliers had 2 home runs. I think Nick Hurts had a home run. I preferred contrast who also. It was just you needed. So like really like the optimal build, even though Sanchez shoved and Logan Webb had an elite game, 8 innings, 8 Ks, like best start of the season, lost in the 9th inning. He went all 8. He should just stayed in there for the 9th because he
pissed me off. I told you I lost $4,000 on the Giants losing that game.
But
they were the final piece. They were the final cog, and they blew a 2-run. It's just like. Even
with that though, Andrew Abbott had a good enough start where like the build that won was a build where you pay down at pitcher. Because you needed the expensive bats. Like you couldn't get those bats and play Sanchez and Webb. Like it was impossible. You had to get a cheap pitcher. And Andrew Abbott actually had a good start in San Diego. And so like there was ways to get. So like while the pitching still went off, like I didn't prioritize the expensive bats, and you needed a Langoliers. You needed
we say that. Just in summary though, B. Kreider, who we see at the top of the leaderboards occasionally, did win that, and he won with the Logan Webb, Christopher Sanchez team.
Yeah.
I'll just read out and this is the 111 flagship winner. It's Logan Webb, Christopher Sanchez. You did want those guys. Contrast, Kurtz, Sosa with 5, Muncy with 9, Williams with 7, Soderstrom. Really, and all he did here is that he had Rooker with 4 and Dolis there with 16. But really, it's just like he had the 3 best batters in Soderstrom, Nick Kurtz, and William Contrast, and just the 2 best pitchers.
And Andrew Vaughn with 33. So sorry, I was looking at the other slate. So Grayson Rodriguez.
He didn't have.
Grayson Rodriguez. So
hold on. No, let me finish. He didn't have Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah, which is crazy. So I'm looking at.
It's not crazy because
what did he put up?
206.
Oh, because I'm looking at the 214 score winner from it's SB Kusile, and this is what I was referencing. So like they put up 214, and it was a Grayson Rodriguez and Logan Webb build. And basically what that got him is it's literally a complete super stack of the like every batter came from that. It was a 5-3, 5 towards the Athletics, 3 towards Milwaukee. But again, it's like if you just pick every batter.
Just looking at this in hindsight, though, it doesn't matter. You didn't need Andrew Vaughn because you can only play a singular first baseman, and Andrew Vaughn put up less than Nick Kurtz.
What did Nick Kurtz put up?
37.
Oh yeah, Vaughn put up 33. Who is more? I guess like price per dollar.
Right?
Price per dollar.
This is a great example of why in the high dollar. So it's just a 111, but I know you're doing the 888 tonight. Probably me as well. But even in single entries, it's another case. Just pay it for pitching because you saw what Logan Webb and Christopher Sanchez did, and yeah, you wanted more bats there, but who cares because those guys still put up 60 points. Yeah. And you just had the 3 best batters.
It's still profitable slate. At the end of the day, it's like turning a profit is.
You give yourself chances to win 100%. But yeah, let's jump in. This is another bat slate. I want them to get out of Oakland because you just feel like you have to play some of that game. And I'm going to play some of it, but you have.
They're going to be in Oakland for 2 weeks too. Not 2 weeks.
6 games.
Yeah,
2 series. But it's interesting. We have Colorado. We have a Denver game, right? And we have Chicago on the road, who I love. Obviously, who doesn't love them? And you have another Kansas City game with the wind blowing out and Kansas City's park was a little bit smaller. And for me, it's like that's the sneaky game, but I don't know if I'll do it in a single entry, right? I'm focused on one build, and I know you're going to build the 888. And if I do one, it's just going to be one tonight probably. But
yeah, so the Kansas City game is interesting. We'll dive into it, but the weather's blowing out there. Both pitchers are pretty good. So like, but if I'd have a lean, it would actually be Texas. So Kolek has been pretty good. But the truth about Texas is they're cheap. Like there's merit to playing Texas on this. Like Brandon Nemo is like actually hitting the ball really well. He's like 3.5. And so it's like, do you play Brandon Nemo at 3.5 or do you play some scrub for another team just to fit your stat?
Yeah, well, that's we'll jump in further. But is it Brandon Nemo or Henry Bolte for the Athletics? Yeah. It's probably just Bolte. Right?
But it's tough because I think the park is just Kansas City's bullpen's been bad.
It is tough, and I agree. And like Brandon Nemo has a 2 home run upside for sure, and he's batting at the top of the lineup. But we know Bolte is a decent prospect that does run and has a little bit of pop. So it's like you get some of that wrap around there. But yeah, let's jump in the slate though. I think let's kick it off with the first game. We have Toronto. I think Toronto's at home. They're hosting the Phillies. Who's on the bump for the Phillies? Zach Wheeler and then Dylan Cease. You could totally get both of your pitchers from this game. If I was going to prioritize one, it would be Cease, but he's coming off of small injury, so I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of workload concerns. Just to be honest, I'm probably not playing either pitcher. This is a great pitching matchup here, but I just don't know if I want either guy. And once again, I'm trying to jam bats tonight. There's other guys I do like a little bit cheaper that I might just focus my attention to. So for me, this is definitely, you can't play bats against these guys, especially in a tournament tonight. What are the odds one of these teams scores 10 runs and wins your tournament? It's pretty unlikely. So for me, it's just going to be a pass game altogether. I wouldn't be mad if you told me you were playing a pitcher from this game, though. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think Wheeler's a great play. I'm worried about Cease. This is first game back. Philly's like heating up a little bit. I just wouldn't go to Cease here. Philly does strike out, so there's merit. But in his first game back, I just don't feel like they're just going to let him go 110 pitches. So if he gets in any trouble early, you could see him cutting him at like 75. Wheeler probably is like the best pitcher play on the slate. We just saw what Sanchez did.
Maybe slight. I mean, I don't want to interrupt you there, but like I think Burns at 200 less is probably just the better pitcher play.
Yeah,
just like strikeout wise, right?
That's true. Yeah, you're definitely right. You're right. Yeah, Burns against San Diego, who's the bottom tier in the league. Like, you're right. That Wheeler's the clear number 2 outside of him.
For sure.
I don't know. Like, I don't think I'll be able to get a Burns Wheeler team, but I think it would make some sense. I have some other pitchers I kind of like, but I think Burns Wheeler would be, smart on this slate. You're looking at probably 30 points from both guys. That said, it probably won't make my build. I think I prefer Burns, as you mentioned. So I think I'm just going to prioritize him and probably get a cheaper SP2. But with that said, I don't like bats. I don't even think it's like you shouldn't even get contrarian in this slate. Don't play this game from an offense perspective.
No. Yeah. Unless you're building like the small 100, 150 max, the 15s. But if you're playing the high dollar stuff in the single, there's no reason to touch that game as far as bats. But let's jump to the next game. Another game where the wind's blowing out. It's good pitcher's park generally, but it's the Mets, warm, humid, wind blowing out. That's a little bit dangerous because I think I might get an SP2 in this game, and that's Dustin May. The guy's been electric in his last 2 starts. Like, is that going to stay? We know Dustin May when he was with the Dodgers had some pedigree, and he had some decent stuff, right? And the underlines are starting to trend up, right? Started the season kind of slow. But at 6K, I mean, in the mid 6s, like he's a fine play. Like I might jam him in a single entry with Burns. It's just kind of the 1-2 and hope he gets me 15 to 20 with the upside here. I mean, we had him going into a no hitter 2 starts ago. The problem here is this is not a great matchup. The Mets are getting healthier, right? We had the lineup out. It's Bench, Bichette, Soto. But once again, there's strikeouts in there, right? Jared Young strikes out, Semien strikes out, Melendez strikes out, Beatty strikes out. Like these guys, like he could get through a lineup and have 5 to 9 Ks. I wouldn't be that surprised there. So yeah, it's not good. The wind blowing out. It's not good. It's hot and it's humid. But at 6'8", I mean, there's worse option. I mean, I don't think there's better options, to be honest with you. I think he is the best option down there if you're paying down. So I would do that. From the Mets side, I understand. I think you like Freddie Peralta a lot. His underlines are fine. The only problem with him is he has a little bit of a walk problem. And I think this Cardinals lineup is just getting better and better. I mean, Nootbaar's back. They sent Victor Scott down, who I have too many shares in Best Bar, right? But it's just getting a guy that's not a good batter out of their lineup, right? So, like, they're getting healthier and healthier. And now it's just like, Torres has been good. Burleson, obviously, JJ, all these guys, like, I don't know if I want to play pitchers against that lineup. So, I get Peralta. He's, probably top 3 pitcher option on the slate overall, but I just don't know if I'm going to do it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I do have some interest in Freddie Peralta, but honestly, like depending on how lineups come out, like my ideal build, especially in the 8-8, is to throw Zach Wheeler and Burns together.
I like that. I like that.
Just because like it's like I think you can get bats are there's spots I like that I feel like there's some bats that are cheap, so like I need to wait for lineups to determine that. Even with the wind blowing out and being warm, this over under is still just 7.5. Like they're not expecting much action from this game.
And Vegas always bakes that in. They always price that in. So
yeah, they price it in. But the thing is, I really want to avoid Dustin May. I don't think so. I think my avoid on Dustin May is like I think he'll be the highest owned cheap pitcher, and I think he will be. He'll be 25 to 30% owned because he's been good, but Dustin May historically has always been an up and down pitcher. So like we've seen a few good starts, and so people are like, oh, maybe at 6'3", like this makes so much sense. And I do think that will increase his ownership because people want to expect. I mean, like there's expensive bats on the slate. The Coors is on the slate. We have the Oakland game. Yeah. And so I'm just gonna fade that spot. To your point, the Mets are like getting healthier. This is a spot I'll avoid. I feel like Dustin May could be in trouble here.
Yeah, but let me just caveat that too. Like not even to focus on game logs, but like when does this kill you? I mean, 20 is obviously great, 30 is great, 12's average, 8's not good but fine. You could live with 6-3, 20, 7, 8, 19, 19, 20. Other than the first 2 starts of the season, he's been solid. And at 6-3. This is just my point. If the bats carry you, he won't kill you. And if he gets you 20, you're super happy. If he gets you 25, you're enamored. And you hope your bats carry you to a tournament winning.
This is how I feel. I don't feel this is a game the Mets win. So I'm going to take 4 points away. Right, this is a game the Mets win with Freddie Peralta on. They're going to again, and their line is better. Their lineup's better.
Dustin May's best start was without a win. He scored 30 points an hour.
Yeah, you had an elite strikeout performance. But this is, to me, it's like the Mets don't profile as an elite strikeout team. Like they're not a team that I really target all the pitchers against. And so like, this seems like a single digit Dustin May performance. I think he puts up in the 7 to 8 range. And like that is like to your point, at 6'3" is fine, but I don't think it's going to help you one term.
I see your point, but other than Bichette and Soto, these teams strikes out. I mean, the back end, you got 30% strikeout rates for the guys in the back. So I could, he struck out back-to-back 9s and he has a couple of 7s. Like Dustin May is a strikeout pitcher right now. And once again, I just harken back to when he was in the Dodgers, like he had some stuff, right? And he had a possible prospect pedigree, and he's only 6'3". Like I kind of wish he was 8K in this slate because it would make more sense for him to be 8K based on what he's done recently.
I just love him being 6'3" because the ownership, like based off of how the slate looks, is like ownership will just flock heavily to Dustin May.
Without a doubt, Dustin May is going to be 30+%.
And so anytime Dustin May is 30% on any slate, I'm not playing him. Like,
but he's not the volatile pitcher. I think he.
But no, but but even in those starts that you mentioned, like, dude, there's multiple single digit starts. That's not good. Like you don't have the negative starts.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm looking at though. It's like at 6'3", like 12 points is not ideal, but it's like not going to kill you if your bat's hit. So it's just like for me, is like there's no one down there. Yeah, you can't name another pitcher down there that has comparable floor or upside because Dustin May's shown upside. I mean, if he strikes out 9 in this matchup, he is too cheap. That's just a fact. But yeah, so talk about Peralta. I don't know if you mentioned him. I know you kind of like him.
The underlying stuff is okay. The strikeout rate's not great. Like this is the concern I have with. I think he could go 7-8. He could do what Logan Webb did last night. Like he could go 8 innings and he could get 7 to 8 strikeouts. That is the upside for Freddie Peralta, though. He's not a guy that spikes for like 12 Ks. Like that's a concern. I think Wheeler does have that in his bag tonight.
Once upon a time, he had that.
But he just doesn't like. He's more pitching to contact now. His ground ball rate is up, like which is good. Like he can go deeper into games, but there's some concern, right, that St. Louis could put a couple runs up, and it's like Freddie Peralta 6 innings, 3 earned runs, gets the win, puts up 17 fantasy points. You're like okay, but I think Wheeler has 30-point upside against Toronto. Toronto's weak in the back end of their lineup, and they strike out too. Like even guys like Okamoto who don't profile as a strikeout guy, strikeout is so much. It's like
let me see what their K rates are. Now that you mentioned that, just so we can really jump in there, because I don't. I know Vlad doesn't strike out. He's a great strikeout rate. Yeah, I mean, you have Okamoto 30. Okamoto's the worst.
That's what I'm saying, which is
really
crazy.
Just the worst. Really, just I mean, other than that, you have. I mean, their next worst guy is just scrolling. Heineman at 21% probably won't even be in the lineup tonight. They really don't. I mean, outside of Okamoto, they're not striking out a lot.
Yeah,
but Wheeler is a matchup like really just can do that to anyone, right? And for me, my biggest concern with Wheeler and why I'm not going to be playing him probably at all tonight is just like, he's priced up more than Burns. Burns is going to be a priority. I'm probably going to play May. It's just like we've seen Wheeler's velo be down a little bit, and he's not showing as much swing and miss as he has in the past. And that doesn't matter. He's still been great. I mean, better than like you see that profile, you're like, this is lovely. But at 10-7, I need to be sure about it. I need to be sure that they're swinging and missing that profile. And I just feel like, Burns is more likely to get hit than him. Just facing, I think, a better San Diego team. Even though San Diego's been striking out so much, it's just like Burns is a younger, more volatile pitcher, most likely, but his strikeout stuff's been elite. And the underlying suggests it's going to keep ticking up. So I get your point. But, Wheeler should be safe. But is safe 15 points? That's probably what you're looking at as safety there, right? So
to be in this spot, he puts up 20 plus, and like if he can get the win and attack on an additional case, he can get to what Sanchez put up in 32. He put up 32 points. Sanchez, I think like Wheeler could get around that number. And
he could, but that's probably a ceiling in this spot. I mean,
I mean, I think that's a ceiling most spots for those guys, right? 32 points. If you could pencil any guy in for 32 points, you're like, hell yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to the next game. We have the Rangers. We talked a little bit about this on the road facing the Royals. Wind blowing out. Great hitting park today. Evaldi on the mound. Evaldi's underlyings are fine. I mean, we know who Evaldi is. He's just a good pitcher. He's going to start to regress. Obviously, age is going to catch up with him. But he's still got a good strikeout rate, a decent walk rate. His underlyings don't suggest he's getting hit that hard. So I think he's fine. Can't play him. With this park. And same with Kolek. I mean, I understand Kolek, you're looking Texas bouts to get him. I don't know if Kolek is as good as he's been lately, but the underlying suggests he's fine. He doesn't have a good K rate, right? 18%, nothing special there, but a 5% walk rate is pretty good. So he stays out of trouble getting, runners on. But for me, it's just going to be a pass in this game. If you told me this game you needed in a GPP winning lineup, that makes sense. I mean, the wind blowing out, great park factors. And these profiles teams are like, it's all or nothing. Like they're 10 runs or 2 runs, right? So I can see either of these teams being hyper valuable. Obviously, Jack Kaggs, Bobby Witts, beat red there. You mentioned Nemo looking great there. And another thing about the Rangers, I'm going to start jumping on them shortly because they're getting healthy. I mean, Seager's back, Langford's back. Those guys are just dogs. So, I think I'm not playing this game in a single entry. Once again, I'm more of a singular build. I think you have more teams out there than me today. I totally get if you want to play this game. It's going to be a pass, but I see the path to this game being one you need to have as far as bats go. Can't play the pitchers. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so both pitchers are okay, but like deep dive in Kolek, it's like not great. Like it's like he's expensive, but he's not that great right now.
You can't play him, but his other lines are fine.
They're fine. They're like a middling, like 3, high end 3, or low end 3, high end 4 starter. Like that's where he's going to profile at. With that said, I think Texas is like, I mean, they could. I'm flirting with like a 5-man Texas stack here, and part of it's the cost of these guys. Like you have Wyatt Langford 3-4, who's like he just got back, but he's hitting the ball well already. Brandon Nimmo, look at Brandon Nimmo's StatCast. It looks good. Like I mean, it looks near great. You have guys like Josh Young who are also striping the ball currently.
Josh Young has been one of the best batters in baseball. Like it's not even if you're a Rangers fan, you probably know this, but the guy is he's an absolute master this year, and we know he's had pedigree. What are you looking at his price? What is his price?
He's 3.8. He's the most expensive guy in the entire team. But even like Jake Berger's a guy like there's guys in this lineup that I really like for power and speed combo. Like and if I do go with my kind of theory of paying out for pitching, this would make the 5-man stat just because you can get like 5 quality batters for all under 3.8, and most of them are like low 3s. And so like that, I'm leaning towards that, right? Like Kansas City, I would hate to like pick on my boys tonight, but I think there's a lot of merit going here. The one's balling out. This will be a lower owned offensive spot given all the offensive spots we have in the slate. But man, you can, instead of paying like 3-4 for an unknown on maybe in cores, it's like maybe just like stack up this game, you know? I'm somewhat worried about the Kansas City side. Like Jack Cash is banged up. Bobby Witt's banged up. Vinny P can't hit a ball. Like that's where my hesitation is. But man, I think Texas is super sneaky tonight. I don't think there will be a ton of people on Texas.
Not with cores and the absolute.
Yeah, but when you're just averaging out, like yeah. So like there's that in the back of the mind. You know, Vegas, like there was a world in which that game doesn't blow up last night. Like I feel like part of me like is like, game theory wise wants to move some of my bats away from the Oakland game. It was just so much offensive production yesterday that
also, like you have to take it with a grain of salt because like obviously it was still high scoring even if you don't count the 9 runs in the extras, but that's still 9 runs. I mean there was like the top of the 10th 4, bottom of the 9th 4, bottom of the 10th 4, and then an extra one, and maybe 11th or 12th for the Brewers to win.
It's a lot of extra. And the other thing here is like Gasser, and we're not at that game yet, but Gasser and Ginn are both pretty good pitchers. So like
Ginn is a good ground. Gasser's not good.
Oh, Gasser's he's like the number 10 prospect from Milwaukee. He's supposed to be good at
whenever you're like a double-digit prospect in the individual organization, you have shown nothing. Like that matters not at all to me. Like
Gasser could be a guy that you could pick up. Like I think he's better than Sproat. Like he's better than some of the guys that are. No,
Sproat's probably has better long-term prospect pedigree than him.
I don't know.
We're grasping at straws, but like neither of those guys should be playing.
But even the numbers on the numbers on Gasser this season have been pretty good. Like they're actually not bad. So it's like, and this is small sample, but I think this is game theory too. Like I think you don't want to avoid that game just to avoid it because it went off last night. But back to the Texas game, I really like Texas. I'm leaning towards a priority playing them. I want to see the lineup. Has the lineup come out yet, Dylan, or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
And you get most of those guys in there, most of the valuable guys. And my recommendation would be if you're stacking that game, don't leave off guys like Seager. Like those guys, like Corey Seager, you know, he's made of glass. That guy is. His hamstrings are so soft, and they just constantly falling off the bone. But he's the type of guy that can hit 2 home runs on a slate. Yeah. No one's in a shortstop, and those onesie positions we talk about can really separate you. So for me, I totally get it. I'm not gonna. It's gonna be chalk city for me in my 5-man and going after the Cubs there. But yeah, for me, that's gonna be my priority in single entry. And I understand that Kansas City game could totally blow up, and Kolek's not as good as he's been. So totally get that. But let's head to the next game. Our Braves are on the road facing the White Sox. Can you confirm? I'm pretty sure it's an opener for the White Sox, opener, and then it's going to be Fetty on the mound.
It is, yeah.
And then Grant Holmes for the Braves. Both these guys are pretty cold blue as far as their StatCast profiles going. Just like I don't want to play either pitcher. In the same breath, it's just not a game I'm going to target. Once again, we can always target good offenses. I hate seeing opener and then a long reliever like Fetty. Fetty's just an average pitcher, right? But I just hate seeing that for stacks. But once again, you can always stack the Braves. They're top 3 team in baseball, top 3 offense in baseball. Never gonna say, oh, you can't play them. You can absolutely play them. But for me tonight, I just don't think I'm gonna do it in my single entry. But once again, can't play either pitcher. I'll keep this game short because it's just gonna be an X off in totality for me. What are your thoughts though?
Yeah, I do have interest in Atlanta. I think it's warm there. I don't know if it's blown out, but like the Braves could put up a big number. I need to see the lineups. They're expensive. So it's like, I think I prefer Chicago slightly more than them. But the Braves are in a good spot, man. And like they continue to hit the ball. So I think, yeah, they're definitely in play. I'm going to avoid the White Sox. Holmes is good enough to kind of limit the damage. I've been fading the White Sox all season. That will continue here. I'm just not a believer in them long term. So I think, yeah, this will be a pass. I do think, yeah, you could filter like Dubon has been ripping the cover off the ball. His stack has to good, and he's 3-3. Like I keep avoiding it because I'm like, oh, he'll stop. But at some point, it's like, man, maybe just play him. Like he is actually, he's batting near the top of the lineup now. The White Sox are not a formidable lineup. I mean, pitching lineup, and like you got Fetty on the mound, you got an Oprah, then Fetty, and then like a bad bullpen potentially. So like, yeah, I think there's a way that you could get to some Atlanta bats here. Again, want to see lineups, want to see like how the construction shakes out. But I think Atlanta will be, on a potential build today. Just kind of need to wait to see how the lineups shake out. On the White Sox, I'm not going to be playing anything. So I think that other than that, and I won't be playing Holmes either.
Well, show me to my contrarian 5-man stack, right? And let's go to Chicago in Colorado, which is obviously not going to be contrarian. But dude, I think this is the first time. Has there been a 20 spot on a slate yet? Has there been a team that scores 21s? I saw a stat the other day. I think the Cubs haven't won a series in a month. Like this is the Cubs absolutely blowing the doors off the Rockies in the series. I mean that. I'm so glad that Oakland. I keep saying Oakland because I just think the Raiders. But the Vegas game here, I think that's going to garner a lot of the attention, and I just think the Cubs absolutely blow the doors off of Sugano tonight. Yeah. I think they're in line for a high double-digit score, and just like I see this time and time again, and they've had Swanson, those guys slumping, but man, I hope we get a freaky lineup. I really want to see Pedro Ramirez in that lineup. Obviously, solid prospect. The guy's bat profile looks pretty good. Can run a little bit as well. But PCA is hitting 2 home runs tonight. I'm just calling. The Cubs are the team I want all of. Like, and I want their bats that are just mashing. And it's like I think it's blowing out to right. Going to help some of those lefties. Going to help obviously Ballesteros, Conforto if he's in the lineup. I hope Conforto's not in, to be honest with you. I want to get Ramirez there, but then we have Bush and these guys. You can play break. And I mean this, play all the Cubs. I'm playing 5 Cubs on my single entry on the 888. I'm playing 100% of the Cubs. I'm telling you, like this is alt total 20, and just put a half a unit on it. I just think this is a spot where we can absolutely see an explosion. I'm not telling anyone anything new, but like it's one of those times though. And the Cubs, if they get up big, they're not pulling their guys. They're actually putting their foot in the pedal. They're going to put up an absolutely monster number if they get to Sugano. They've just been slumping it up and down, and they haven't won a series in a month. I could just see them just absolutely pedal the metal here, just being the biggest score in the slate. And I'm just going to play 5 of them. It's pretty simple for me. And both pitchers, I didn't even talk about the pitchers are so excited about the bats, but Ray's not special. Totally good if you want to play, Colorado here. For me, it's just going to be the priority. It's going to be the Cubs. The Cubs are going to be expensive, but Sugano's just not good. The underlying suggests that. And I love it because Sugano doesn't walk anybody perfect. Put the ball in play. Rip this guy a new one. Bullpen for the Rockies sucks. Giddy up. Cubs all day. They're just going to smash in the spot. Really want to all total at 20. All spread, maybe -6.5, -7.5. I see them absolutely just destroying this. But I mean this. You have these teams, and it's funny because last year I wasn't a PCA guy, but man, watching that guy loves ball. He loves ball.
Yeah, he does.
It's crazy.
He does love ball.
Like, and the guy's absolutely fired up. And I was watching a game the other day with PCA, and he just rips 3 balls right to the first. Just like the guy's kind of tearing the cover off the ball and just getting a little bit unlucky. And that's going to play here in Coors. I could see a cycle for him, and that's just like sort of predict, but I could see him just absolutely having a field day here, getting 7 at bats, just the Cubs going absolutely ham here. And I love there's a game later on that has a higher total. This could offset it. So I hope the Cubs get a few demand. They're not going to be low owned. I'm not saying anything, anyone doesn't know. The Cubs are going to be owned for sure. But I think it could be a little bit less than the late hammer. And, so I really hope, that's just me, wish casting, but I'm telling you, the Cubs put up 20 tonight. They're putting up a 20.
Putting up 20 is just
it's a football. There's 3 touchdowns in this game, and it's going to come from the Cubs side. And we're going to see the highest, I guess individual run score on the slate or of the year. So for me, Cubs all day. I know that was long-winded.
Yeah, you may have put a reverse jinx on yourself. So I love the Cubs. The Cubs will be a 3 or like a 4 piece on most of my teams, probably on my big ticket teams too. But the weird thing about Sugano is that he's not giving up home runs this season, which is strange. Yeah, in course, like maybe that's going to go out the window, but he historically has been a a sieve to home runs. Like he's giving up multiple, but this season he's like really limited to long ball, which is weird because like that's not how he.
That's not predictable. I remember they said that the other day. They're like, this guy hasn't given up a home run of Villa for the, and they're like, oh, JJ Bleday 450 to dead center. And like it doesn't matter because once again, we're referencing everything to StatCast, right? And we got to use our eye test sometimes, but the guy gets hit so hard. I mean, he is 9th percentile average exit velo. Jesus Christ, he's first percentile on barrel rate. So that means he's pretty much the worst in the league at giving up barrels. Like the Cubs are going to absolutely smash this guy. Like it doesn't even matter for me because I don't think he's going to be in long enough. I think you're going to get the depleted Rockies bullpen who haven't been very good anyways. I mean, it's just like one of those spots. Okay, we see teams get up and they pull their guys. I think the Cubs have been slumping. They're just going to let their guys absolutely eat. So whoever's in the lineup, play them all. Like, I mean, it's like, I wish I could play all Cubs. I'd play their whole lineup.
So my only caveat there is like the guy I would prioritize that I think would stay in the lineup is a guy like PCA. Some of the older guys, like Hap has struggled a bit. Like you could see Hap if they get a big day.
Hap has been better, and then he's fallen off a little bit. But he's actually been
even really like good. A guy like say I like the guy I think that like beats their drum to stay in if they're up big as PCA. So like I think priority wise in terms of the Cubs, I love Ramirez. So like if Ramirez is in the lineup, he's gonna be locked for me. I think he's a cheap source of like power and speed, mostly speed, but for a course game, at 3-2, it's like lock him in if he's in the lineup. PCA is probably number 2, and I love Carson Kelly. I think Kelly's also he's like such a good bat profile. So like if I had to, in terms of like where I'm going right now, like those are the 3 Cubs I definitely have in my lineup. We need to wait to see what lineups look like. I think somewhat contrarian is like the Colorado side. When you're looking at like the 4 highest team totals, right? When you're looking at, we're looking at Oakland game. So that's Milwaukee and I'm calling them Oakland, but you know what I'm talking about. Why am I blanking on their name? Oakland A's.
Yeah, the Athletics. They just go by the Athletics. They've just pretty much
so weird.
Oakland from there.
Yeah, so vocabulary. I think Colorado is interesting. So I think they'll be the lowest zone to have the high team totals on the slate. So I think
out of the 4 teams, let's just call them out. Out of the 4 teams, the Cubs, Rockies, and then the Brewers and Athletics, the Rockies will be the lowest zone of that foursome there. Yeah, listen, I get it. I mean, I've already bet PCA double home run. I paired that a little bit with Rooker.
You're psycho, dude. You're like I'm worried because I feel like
I'm so excited. I couldn't be more sure that the Cubs absolutely put up 10 minimum in this spot. I couldn't be more sure. Like, I think we see 2. I think we see 20 runs in this game from the Cubs. And you see that a couple times this season. It's just a perfect recipe of like a team that's been kind of up and down. They haven't won a series in a month, blah, 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 this and that. But it's just like where they can absolutely unload all their anger on a poor Sugano, 36-year-old. I mean, it doesn't matter. Sugano's not going to be in there long, but I see the Cubs getting some position players later on. And they're not going to go quietly in the night. They're going to say, how many home runs can I hit? Can I hit 4 home runs? Can I get a Scooter Gannett? Remember that call? 4 home run game?
Dude. He hit that in Great American Small Park too. Remember that?
Of course, Great American Small Park.
That was the Votto. I think he played in the Votto team. That was like the Votto team. That was such a fun team. Who else was there? Was Todd Helton there?
No, Todd Frazier.
Todd Helton was the
Todd father.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I think we've wasted enough oxygen on this game.
It's a cool game. Yeah.
If you're not playing the Cubs, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You got to play the Cubs tonight. But listen, there's other games to pivot to. So, and this is a game where like if the Cubs fell in this spot, I'm just done with them. But like their profiles, everything suggests they've been a little unlucky. They're going to get it together. I'm not worried one bit. So yeah, Cubs all day. They're my main stack. They're going to be in the single. They're going to be on the 888. So let's ride. All right, let's go to the next game. We have the Astros on the road facing the Angels. A couple of bad pitchers here. I know you like Walbert.
That's a damn shame, dude. Both guys have been pretty good. I don't hate Walbert. They've
been pretty good. I mean, look at Kaiwei Tang. He's been fine. 23% K rate, 11% walk rate. I don't like that. And same for Walbert Arena. His underlyings, he's not getting hit hard. That's fine. But his 22% K rate, 12% walk rate, that just leaves guys to getting prone a lot of trouble, right? I talked about Dustin May. Like his walk problem's fine. So I want to focus on guys that maybe the K rate's not as high, but like you don't want a guy walking everyone. That's a problem. We saw that. I don't know what game I was watching, but
Gavin did it last night. Just in the couple walks he had.
Gavin is a great example where like you give, and then you have to pitch a little bit differently. And Gavin's the type of guy, strikeout pitcher in the zone. So if he walks a couple guys, that's a 3-run shot. Solo shot's not going to hurt you because he's striking out enough, batters there. But for me, it's just going to be a pass. Right, pass play. Here's a pass for me. If you told me you're playing Kaiwei Tang or Walbert Arena, I would say, fine, do it. Do what you want. I'm not going to do it, but I totally get that play. I'm not going to play bats on the other side. you can never count out Jordan. The guy is absolutely beat red. I mean, you can't do. I mean, that guy's phenomenal. We knew this in best balls. We're packed full of best ball shares with this guy. But if he stays healthy, he's going to be phenomenal. He's healthy now, just ripping the cover off the ball. Just amazing bat profile. Right, never going to steal a base for you, but the guy can hit multiple home runs in a game, and you're going to get him at lower ownership with all the good bats and good spots. You're definitely going to get an Astro stack lower own. So if you're like, maybe I'll get Contrarian and play him against Walbert, do it. I mean, that's something different to do. I won't be doing it with any of my shekels. So for me, passing this game. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think Walbert Urien is the better pitcher by far. Like, you look at this profile.
I love this guy.
No. So like, I think he's much better than Kawhi Tang. Everything, if you go to the stat guys, everything's bright red. To your point, the bugaboos are the walk rate is bad, and then the strikeout rate's like mediocre. So that is trouble. That spells trouble, especially when you're facing a team like the Astros. Like, anytime you're giving up base runners and you have to your pitch to Jordan Alvarez, like, good luck. I mean, there's not a better offensive player in all of baseball. Jordan Alvarez has just been phenomenal. He doesn't strike out. You have to start giving him the Barry Bonds treatment soon. Like, you just have to like pitch around him. And the strikeout rate's not great for Houston, like, as a team. So it's like, that's the concern I have with Walbert. I just don't know if he's got enough juice to go along here. Kawhi Tang has shown some, like, middling performances this season. I think there's some merit against the Angels. They do strike out a lot. You have multiple guys with a K rate over 25%. Like, I like targeting teams like that. And I mean, we've known this for the last few weeks. I target pitchers against the Angels. Man, it is pretty risky on this slate. I think he would be my like natural pivot in terms of like ownership pivot off of a guy like Dustin May. But I think you're getting into a lot of trouble here. And I think, when you're trying to build in terms of like upside and safety, there's better pitchers on the slate. If you want to prioritize bats, you're gonna have to throw a guy like Kawhi Tang or Dustin May in your lineup. So, when it comes to the bats, I'm prioritizing other spots. So I'm not looking here. I think these kind of like funnel into like the lower, priority spots in the slate. So I won't be doing that. I think Jordan Alvarez is a great, like, if you do like a 4-3-1, like, throw him in there as your one, because he could he could put up 40 points and like he would differentiate your team quite a bit. Outside that, no real interest. Again, if you need the pitching help, play it at cost and lineup, like, dependent. I'd probably pay Kawhi Tang, even though I think Walbert Urien is the better pitcher. I think he just doesn't have like the stuff, and for DFS purposes to like really have a winning score. And that's kind of what we're doing here. But I think that's all to add. No bats. No, I probably won't get to the pitchers. I think I like the expensive options that we talked about already. So nothing else.
Let's jump to the next game then. We have the Reds on the road facing the Padres. Good pitchers park. We have the best pitcher in the slate, in my opinion. And I think they're going to suggest that in Chase Burns. Just a 29% K rate, 7% walk rate. Just phenomenal stuff against the San Diego Padres that strike out a lot. I think Giolito's on the bump for the Padres. This is where I could pull a couple of loosies from the Reds. I mean, Novi Marte is the guy that runs. He stole last night. He's going to be cheap. I think he's low twos. Definitely interested in that. Edwin Arroyo, another guy that can run. Going to be cheap, low 2Ks. So I could pull a couple of single darts from this game from the Reds, and I would be pretty interested. Once again, pitchers park. But if I'm pulling guys on they either need power, speed, or both. And both those guys kind of have that, interesting profile if you're looking for some salary savings to get some of these big bats in there. So for me, if you see me sprinkle with a couple of Reds in my single, don't be surprised, because I might actually go there if I can't have the salary I'm looking for. If the Cubs lineup comes out and it's all Ballesteros, no Kelly, no Ramirez, maybe I'll have to go to the Reds for some salary savings. So we'll see. But definitely interested in the Red bats. Giolito's just not good. He's just not good right now. And Dumb Line suggests that. Man, the catchers, Duran and both Freddie Furman, have pretty good pop time, so I'm worried about them running all over them, although there was some stolen bases last night. I just don't know Giolito's pickup. I don't know if he's any good at that. I have to look deeper into that. But once again, that's a little bit too much of a deep dive. You just want these guys to get on base, potential to run. So sprint speed looks good for all of them. And I know the Reds do give guys pretty much carte blanche to run. So for me, it's going to be Chase Burns on a priority. He's going to be on every contest for me. There's not a lot of pay-up pitching that I like. So for him, he's just going to be streamlined across everywhere. If he dies, he dies, and I die with him. So, just going to be a stand. I mean, it's not contrarian. He's going to be 60% owned and probably the high dollar stuff. So I'll be holding hands with people, but he just has so much strikeout upside. Even if he gets into trouble, gives up 3 runs, I can see him striking out 9 here and just being just fine. So absolutely Burns, Reds, kind of in as my secondary option. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you don't win at pitching. We say this all the time. It's like you can lose this late at pitching, and if you miss on a Burns 35-point performance against right now the worst offense in all of the MLB, it's like that's because it was a bad process play. Like, even if he gets hit tonight, I think the right and correct process is to play Burns. Don't get contrarian. Don't try to get contrarian this type of pitcher. And so for me, it's like let's play the best pitchers on the slate. I think Burns is probably the top end. I think Wheeler also is like right there. It's like 1A, 1B.
No, it's 1 and then it's 2B for Wheeler because it's like we're looking at potential strike upside and we're looking at pitcher's park as well. It's like this matchup is great, right? Like the Padres have some bats, but they also have guys like they have huge strikeout rates on their team. I think we looked at this the other day. They're like bottom 5 in the league as far as striking out. So like they're definitely a great matchup for a pitcher that strikes guys out. So it's just like it's a matchup made in heaven and it's a pitcher's park. So like he could limit the damage just being a pitcher's park and having huge strikeout stuff. So I think it's not even close between him and Wheeler. He's cheaper, which doesn't matter really at $200, but like it's not even comparable. The type of floor ceiling combo I think you get with him over Wheeler. So let's jump into another game that I think could be a little contrarian from a bat perspective. We'll see with the Nationals on the road facing the Giants. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but Andrew Alvarez is on the mound for the Nationals, and then Adrian Hauser, just a pure gas can on the mound for the Giants. You could tell me you're getting bats from this game and getting some value. I totally understand. I mean, Adrian Hauser, especially, is a guy I've been picking on. Andrew Alvarez, his underlines are actually okay. Like, decent whiff, decent K, decent walk rate, a huge ground ball guy. So, like, and that's just in a small sample. I don't know if that's going to be sustainable. Looking last year as well, just another great ground ball guy. So, more I look at Andrew Alvarez, I think I might just stay away. I kind of like getting the San Francisco, the Giants as a contrarian stack. Here, I just don't think there's any need for that whatsoever. If you were forcing me to play a stack in this game, it would definitely be the Nationals. Adrian Hauser, just pure gas can. But once again, the bats you want to play are the guys that are expensive. Obviously, James Wood, Dylan Cruz. Check his price for me while I talk about this team. But like Dylan Cruz,
he's 3.5. He's 3.5, which is like
he's a value. He's a value, right? And he steals and he hits home runs, so that's pretty good there. CJ Abrams, but even guys like Luis Garcia. Look at his StatCast, very good. But he's a platoon guy, right? If Hauser comes out and there's a lefty coming in, like you'd solely see him getting pulled. So that's the biggest issue there for guys like Luis Garcia. So I don't know. I mean, I can't do it because of the platoon risk, but I understand if you want to kind of make that a priority. So for me, it's just not going to be the case. But I can see that Nationals being kind of a sneaky snack that wins someone some money. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so like you mentioned value, like Dylan Cruz is somewhat of value, but like I mean Brandon Nimmo, same price. Much prefer him. Bat's better, spot is better in my opinion. Wyatt Langford is cheaper than Dylan Cruz. I prefer him straight up easily. So like yeah, while he is a value, I just prefer Texas. So when I actually looked at Washington, like I was like, okay, yeah, Hauser sucks, but like man, like they're expensive. You have to make them a priority stack. It's like, yeah, the bats you want to play are really expensive. It's like James Wood or PCA at $1,000 cheaper. Like give me PCA. They're hyper contrarian on the slate. I think if you stacked up Washington, they won the slate, you would be holding hands with no one. But yeah, you have to prioritize them because they are quite expensive. But that said, I like them. If you throw like 1 or 2 bats, if you want to make them like a 3-piece, I don't hate it. It would be contrarian. I would do it in large field tournaments. I don't want to second Alvarez. San Francisco is the second worst team outside of San Diego, so I'm just not going to play the offensive pieces there. They are cheap, so if you need Alvarez is not an ace or anywhere close to it, so like you can get some cheap value from San Francisco. But man, like I think it's a little thin on this slate. I think you can go to spots that are much better than that. So will be a pass for me.
All right, let's jump into Bonanza, the last game of the slate, where everyone's going to get all their bats, and it makes a lot of sense. We have Gasper on the mound for the Brewers in Las Vegas, facing the future Las Vegas Athletics. Are they going to keep that name? Who knows? We'll find out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen. JT Ginn's pretty good on the bump. Who was also pretty good? Kyle Harrison, and he got shelled. So the difference is that Kyle Harrison is a strikeout pitcher, pitches in the zone a little bit more. I think we could get JT Ginn getting a couple of ground balls, and that's just me wish casting, right? I hope the Brewers don't get after it like they did last night. But on the other side, I think Gassers is a gas can. I know you had mentioned like he had some decent numbers. I mean, but he's been pitching up here since 2024 and just been pretty much league average. So for me, I'm not a huge believer. We're looking at him obviously as a lefty, so you're going to get some of these righty bats. I've been waiting to play Law Dog. The guy's just an absolutely platoon bat at this point. He's been horrible. Not going to play him. But guys like Bolte, Rucker, Muncy, these righties, I love these guys. I mean, we saw Rucker kind of miss out in the party last night and miss a couple home runs. But, just bare minimum. Like this ball's going to fly out. So the wind's not quite as crazy as it was last night, but Brent Rooker can hit home runs in any part. The guy's got pure power. And just kind of missing out. it's not even that he's missed out. It's just like I like him as a power bat. He's probably the most affordable piece there in the outfield. I like Bolte as the prospect. His bat profile is fine. Max Muncy's a bat that he's a little bit too cheap. The guy just got off the IL, hit a couple home runs in his rehab start as well. I think he played last night. I think he hit a home run last night. Can you confirm? I mean, he didn't play him. I'm pretty sure he did. He popped one last night. The guy's bat is very good. Like that's I know there was some, talk earlier in the season, like he might be better than the other Max Muncy. The guy's he's got a good bat, a good profile there. So definitely going to play those guys. Those are kind of priority. I mean, if you're playing Kurtz, makes sense. You play Langeliers, makes sense. But you're actually paying a premium for those guys. No, Max Muncy went, 1 for 5, two ribbies. But Nick Kurtz, you're paying for it. You're paying for the 2 home runs again. You're hoping it does it again. Another guy I'll mention here as well is Zach Geloff. A little bit more of a value there as well. But the guy is, he was once a huge prospect.
I used to love Zach Geloff. Yeah, he was I played him religiously for like a season, and he sucked every game. I lost so much money playing that.
The guy has some mean baseball to him. So he's got.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he hits and steals. He's a good batter. So like game theory says, like for me especially, I think game theory says avoid this game to some degree, mainly because. Because the DraftKings, what they have done is they price up the course bats, right? So like you have to pay a premium for some of the bats in course tonight. Guys that are like normally like, mid 3s are now 4s. They didn't do the same for this Milwaukee game. So like everyone is too cheap. Like everyone, and I think JT Ginn's good. So like I'm more looking towards the Oakland side, but I think the A's are just too cheap. Like Brent Rooker he should be 5'8", not 4'8" in this spot with park factor adjusted for. So I mean, the smart play is just to play the Oakland guys, in my opinion. Gasser is a prospect. He has looked good this season.
He's a 27-year-old prospect, quote unquote. Like he's not special. Sorry, and as you're talking, I'm just pulling up his minor league as well.
It's not great. It's not great, but it's mediocre. So like, he's not a gas can.
A below average.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So I think I glitched out there. Did I?
Yeah, you're good. You said below average K rate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, below average K rate. So nothing special there. I mean, his xERA is fit. Nothing suggests that he's really any good, anything more than average. And if he's anything less than average in this spot, he's gonna absolutely get shelled. So I think Ginn does have and Ginn's a guy that was a prospect and has shown the ability to put it together here. So I do think like he could manage that lineup. I mean, once again, if you told me they scored another 30 runs in this game, I'd be like, well, I mean, that makes sense. It's a great park, but I think Ginn can manage his way through the lineup, and I just hope I get the right athletics bat. So this game makes sense. Like you said, a contrarian angle is to kind of maybe get off of this game, find some other spots. Once again, the Cubs are my team to score the most runs in the slate. They're gonna put a 20 spot up. I've never felt more confident in anything in my life, and I'm gonna victory lap it once I win the 100K 888. The single entry collected and come back. And when they score 21 runs, when they score the 3 touchdowns, I'll be back to rub it in your face. But other than that, I think this game is obviously you have to play it. But sometimes in this game, maybe what you can do is just pick those bats out. Maybe 2 or 3 bats. You're like, okay, I wanted to beat these guys.
Yeah,
you like Kurtz. Kurtz last night. I mean, the guy in the winner, right? The guy in the winner, the 100K. I think beat Kreider, right? Had Kurtz with 2 home runs, Langeliers with a home run, and then Tyler Soderstrom, I think, had 2 as well. But just those 3 bats, I mean, that's all he needed, right? So sometimes you can get, and those guys are the best bats, right? So sometimes you get lucky with that, and you just make the right calls, and it turns out for the best. So I totally get your need in this game, and the thought of fading is fun until you wake up and you've lost all your money. So
it's not the thought of it. This is the classic though. The field and some of the casuals that play will. Like this just inflates ownership. Inflated ownership doesn't mean it's a bad spot, but like game theory tells me, and we've played baseball long enough. Baseball is a highly variant sport. Like it's not like certain other sports. Like the NBA is like a little bit easier to like, okay, this guy is going to get this amount of usage, this amount of minutes. And so like for me, it's like, I think there's a conflict. Like it's just like a coming together of so many factors. There's really good other offensive spots. Like if there wasn't many other offensive spots tonight, like I wouldn't consider it, but like, man, Texas is really cheap. They're in a great spot. Chicago, I think, is in a great spot. We'll go much lower owned than this spot here.
Dude, if Chicago's lower owned than they should be, like that's a mistake. Shame. And I hope they are. I hope everyone in single entry is like, you know what, it's so much cheaper to play this game. I hope do it. I pray you do it because I will be breathing down your neck with a cup stacked. So yeah, that's all I have for the day. I mean, I think that's all you got. We'll be back on tomorrow.
I think Texas is the stand for me today. I think that. I mean, like that is. a spot. I need to wait for the lineup, but that's a spot I'm going to get to heavily, and I think they'll be, in the single digits owned across the board.
I don't know if there will be a single Texas bat unless there's someone very cheap batting leadoff.
Yeah,
it's going to be double digits.
Yeah, so the way I'm building today is more high end pitcher. I'll probably throw Wheeler and Burns on all my builds, and then build the cheaper stacks like Texas, Chicago. I think you can get cheap pats, and then I'll have some like Rooker. But
dude, the devil on my shoulder is telling me that Wheeler is a sketchy play. There's something that just like tells me Toronto could get to him, and I don't know what it is.
What was it that Christopher Sanchez put up 32 points in the same exact spot?
Christopher Sanchez, no, it's not though. Like they're way different pitchers. Christopher Sanchez is way better than Wheeler at this point in his career, and he's a lefty.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get Varsho's been riding the pine. He's gonna be back in this lineup today. Like it's just like there's certain bats that I think could pose Wheeler some issues. So that's just my theory. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't bear out. But Zach Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez are way different pitchers at this stage in their career.
Way different. I mean, again, we have double-digit strikeout upside here for sure.
I don't see that. I mean, if he faces Okamoto 12 times, maybe, but like unless he doesn't, like the rest of that lineup does not strike out. Go back to the strikeout rate.
It's fair. Yeah. The strikeout rate's not high for guys, especially like Vlad. Varsho has a decent strikeout rate, but like, and then the back end of the order, like Venezuela.
But they're okay. It's not drastic. You look at the San Diego StatCast. You get
San Diego is the worst team in the San Diego's horrible. So nothing else out here. We'll see. Let's see where we go. Let's see how high we can fly today.
We'll jump back on. Maybe talk tomorrow slate. We'll be back. I mean, we want to be here for most of the big slates as many as we can. Probably 2 to 3 times a week minimum. Right? We love the big flagships 111s. We'll dabble in all the sports, but baseball has been a grind. And I know you hit that 100K 2 weeks ago, and I'll be back to listen. It's so funny you hit that 100K and I hit a single entry. I felt so good about my 16 big ones, and then here comes this guy.
You just suck. That's why.
I do suck, man. And it's like I'm so sure about my takes until they don't. This
is why I'm scared of Chicago. Whenever you're very adamant about something, I get a little nervous.
Dude, Sugano sucks, and he's been so.
He does suck. He does suck. I think you put this weird video into the world.
This is a guy though, like, and I mean, we need to jump off here, but like, this is a guy. Sugano's 36 years old, and his underlines are not good. I mean, he's not going to be around much longer. Like, you're not going to be able to play against him much longer. I'm getting my cup full. It's going to be a filled cup tonight. Like, he's going to be gone in the second or third inning. He's going to get up 6 or 7. He's going to say, "See you later," and you're going to get a terrible Rockies bullpen. And these Cubs guys are not coming on the lineup when they get up big. They're just going to put the pedal to the metal and get other get backs. They've been losing. They're gonna sweep this series. It's just gonna happen. So,
and even outside of that, though, there could be individual great plays in this spot. Like it could, you may not need 5 Cubs, and your take is you need 5 Cubs, but I think it just depending on the lineup, you don't want to see Swanson in this. Swanson's horrible. He's like one of the 5 worst.
He's another guy. I mean, everyone's horrible. We saw Adola strike out 4 times, and we're like, dude, this guy looks horrible. And then you played him the next day, and he really helped you last night. It's like he
just hits lefty pretty well. So and
he cannot swing a bat. But when I watch guys when I watch the Cubs, these guys are swinging fine bats. They don't look out of sorts. Like Adolis looks out of sorts, and like he gets lucky. Like even a blind.
Well, no, it's just like we watch him against righties, and then he goes against a lefty.
No, even a blind square can find a nut. Like Dolis looks washed. He's not going to be up the rest of the season. He's not good right now.
It's crazy because he's got 3 home runs in his last 5.
He's been like 95.
I know, but it's like he's still.
When I watch the Cubs play, they're getting a little bit unlucky, and these guys are smoking the ball. So, like, they're going to, in course, they're not against a subpar pitcher. Giddy up. And I love them against a righty. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, listen, I'm not telling anyone anything new. I mean, they're going to be double-digit zone. I just hope the late, Vegas game takes a little bit of ownership points off of them because I would love to see that.
I'm scared not to play that game, but I don't think I will. I just got to wait.
I'll be there in pieces as long as my pieces control. But, like, you're going to see a very high scoring set. You're going to see something 230s, 240s probably win the big flagship. So not the 888.
I just love Texas today. I really like
see something sub 200 win the 888. But yeah, for me, it's going to be an absolute bonanza fest tonight. And I can't wait for it. So let's jump back in. We'll talk tomorrow, but let's get after it tonight.
Yes, sir. All right. Later. Peace.